Okay, everyone, thank you for joining us this afternoon. It is 2 o'clock, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm really excited to be leading this webinar this afternoon. For those of you that have not met me, my name is Courtney Graham, and I'm the marketing manager here at Wydell Real Estate. We this afternoon are going to be talking about MoxiPresent. I hope it's something that you all are familiar with and using on a regular basis. They, over the past month, have come out with some updates. They're calling their beta updates as they are kind of testing it and rolling it out, doing a slow rollout. To MoxiPresent specifically, and so I am going to share some of those updates with you this afternoon. I have really enjoyed the updates, and I think that they'll be very beneficial to you all. It's a lot about the ease of the experience and creating your presentation, so I think that you all are really going to enjoy it. I am going to go ahead and mute everyone on the line just so that we can allow for minimal background noise, and then we will pause at the end for any additional questions. So hold on just one moment.
All participants are muted, but may unmute themselves. All participants are muted and may not unmute themselves.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started now. I'm going to just walk through kind of a brief overview of some of the updates, what you'll see, some things that are changing, as well as some things that aren't changing, as well as kind of timing for how Moxie is rolling out these changes. So we'll get started with that first, and then we'll go to MoxiPresent and go through an actual demonstration of the updates. So first, I bet you guys are wondering what's new. Overall, though, there will be an easier workflow. Creating a presentation will be simpler. There is a new layout for the homepage for MoxiPresent. Sub-navigation creation, so you'll see a different way that you can kind of organize your presentations. There are a few updated naming conventions which we'll go over. The ability to create custom pages is more robust. There's more customization that's available that you can actually do right within MoxiPresent. You don't necessarily have to create a PDF and then upload. One sheet creation, and then just overall kind of an updated look and feel, which is one of the things that I think they have done best, has just been updating the look and feel. It's very user-friendly. Before it was a little bit more cumbersome for you to be able to view your presentation or view different parts of your presentation, and now I feel like it's laid out much easier. So that's kind of a little bit of what's new. Again, we're going to walk through it specifically in MoxiPresent. So what's the same? Your subject property, your search, your comps, your estimate, those are all the same. So a big chunk of how you actually use MoxiPresent is staying the same. And really what's being changed has been kind of the look and feel and a little bit of your personal experience as far as creating the presentation. The presentation outputs will remain the same, so you still have the option to have the presentation view or the PDF view. You can still email your presentations and your PDFs to clients, to yourself. The organization of presentations is staying the same. And your ability to create custom pages is staying the same, but that was also one of our new things. It just is more robust. And so now let's talk about the beta rollout dates. So now you are able to switch from the classic version of MoxiPresent, which is what you all are used to, accustomed to using the beta version. So you do have that capability. I'll show you how you can switch from the classic version to the beta version. And then on March 7th, The beta version will actually be the forward-facing version of MoxiPresent, and you'll have the ability to switch back to the classic version. So if you're not quite comfortable with the beta version by March 7th, you will have the ability to switch back to the classic version. And then on April 4th, only the beta version will be available. So we're a little over a month away from that actual launch, and hopefully by then you'll be comfortable enough with the new version of MoxiPresent that won't be an issue at all, and I think that you guys will actually be very pleased with some of the new updates and kind of their rollout that they have planned. So those were initially the things that I wanted to kind of give you as an overview, and now let's go ahead and we're just going to jump right into MoxiPresent. So let me go ahead and pull up Moxie. Okay, so if we go to, first of all, let's start from the very beginning. Make sure that we're all following along. So we'll start at the hub, hub.wydellre.com. We'll click on Present. And you can see here that there's a little call out right here that says test drive the new beta version. If you scroll over to the right, there's a button that says try beta. So this is where you are going to click on try beta, and it's going to actually take you to the MoxiPresent beta version. So I'm just going to close this out for right now, and we'll touch base on it later. So here you can see is kind of the new layout, the new home page, if you will, for MoxiPresent. So all of your information is still here. It's just organized a little different and has a little different look. I do want to point out two things before we get started. In the right hand corner right here, there's this What's New button. You can click on that. Moxie makes updates almost every month, and so if you click on that What's New box, if you read that, you'll find the things that they've updated in the past month. It'll just give you a little just an easy way for you to see kind of what they have been changing, what they have been updating. And then the other button that I want to show you before we begin is this Help and Feedback button. So if you have any ideas as you're using MoxiPresent, especially the beta version, you are definitely able to give feedback straight to Moxie. And a lot of the feedback that they have received previously actually went into rolling out this beta version of MoxiPresent. So they really do take your comments seriously, and so I would recommend, if you have any issues or ideas or maybe ways that you think as an agent it could work better for you, I would go ahead and fill out this Moxie feedback form. There's also a need help section. So this is, similar to Moxie support, but just an easy way to get there. So wanted to point out those two buttons to you kind of before we get started. So again, this is the new MoxiPresent homepage. You'll see these are my previous presentations that I have created. There are a few different ways that they're organized right now. So you can see that there's an All tab, a Buyer-Seller tab, and an Archive tag. So again, all exactly what it sounds like, all your presentations. If you click on Buyer and Seller, these are just Buyer and Seller presentations. Part of a later rollout, Moxie's going to create additional presentations other than just for buyers and sellers. Maybe it will be, I know, we're thinking about using one for a relocation one or a recruiting presentation. So you're going to be able to make additional presentations right in MoxiPresent, but that will be rolled out later. And then there's also an archived tag. So you're able to, if you'd like to keep your presentations all nice and organized, you are able to archive some of your older presentations if that's how you would like to organize your presentations currently. Just want to point out some of the buttons right here. The pencil icon enables you to make edits to existing presentations. This little clock icon allows you to view when was the last time that you actually worked on this presentation. And then this, if you click on the little actions icon, so this gives you an option to play the presentation, to view the presentation, email, duplicate, delete, archive, create a quick flyer, assign to agent, and even assign a co-presenter. So that's kind of your actions icon where you're able to really do things with your presentation. So those are kind of the buttons that I wanted to point out to you as far as how each presentation is concerned. And if we go over here, if we want to create a new presentation, we just click this blue plus sign right here. We have heard that some people have provided feedback that they prefer the button to be in the middle. It's easier for them to identify. So that might be an update that Moxie's going to make before their official April 4th rollout. But for right now, it's on the right-hand side. If you click on it, you'll be able to create a new presentation. So you can see that this looks a little different from the classic version of Moxie Present, and there are actually a few more steps, but they are steps that will actually help and make things easier in the long run. So presentation type, so you have the option right now of buyer or seller. Again, these could have additional presentation types later on as they continue the rollout. You can click whichever one works best for you. So right here you can pick your template. So this is important and is a little different from our initial first step. In the classic version, you weren't really able to pick your template until one of the very last steps, which was called presentation, and you could pick a presentation profile. There was a default presentation, but there you were able to pick other presentations as well. So one of the changes is instead of clicking and selecting your presentation template at the very end, you're able to select it in the very beginning. So if you want this no template, you can select no template and you have the option of including all of the Moxie default pages as well as all of our Wydell default pages, or you can use a company template. So we currently have 3 company templates. We have the listing consultation, a condensed version. We have an MVA, a market value analysis, and then we have this Wydell real estate version, which is very similar to the listing consultation. It's really just our brokerage pages plus the Moxie reports. So right now we have 3 templates for you to choose from. One other nice tip, if you are trying to decide which template you want to use, you can see on the right hand side it says 50 pages or 17 pages. You can actually click on that drop down arrow and it will show you all of the pages that are included in that presentation. Same thing if I click on MVA. I see, okay, maybe the MVA right now is the one that I want to use because it has more of the pages that I want, and I'm going to click continue. Now you'll see near the end, even if you pick a certain template, you still have the capability to add or delete pages in that last step. So here is where you will title your presentation and also your listing source. So in my case, I have trend. And then all you'll do is click create and your presentation will be ready to go. So that initial step, this creating a presentation, looks a little different. And then once you click create, you'll see I'll click create. And then you're into something that looks pretty familiar to you. You can see you have your subject property, search, comps, estimate, and this last page instead of presentation still functions very similarly, but they've just changed the naming convention and now it's named pages instead of presentation. So that's how you set up your presentation. So let me go back and I'm actually going to get into a presentation that I have already created. This one right here, I'm going to click edit. I went ahead and created something just to save us a little bit of time. So I went ahead and plugged in a subject property. I've already done my search and I have selected my comps. Again, all of this works exactly the same from the classic version, which is why I'm kind of going through this pretty quickly. I've selected my comps. I have given an estimate. And now I am going to spend most of my time talking about um, this pages tab, which again used to be presentation, which you'll see looks different and functions a little bit differently as well. But it really functions better in my opinion, so I think it's been a really nice change. So here in my presentation, you can see all of the pages that I have selected. So these are the default pages from the MVA template that I selected in one of our first steps when we created a presentation. If you can go through and click on each of the pages, and it will automatically show you what the page is, instead of before you had to click on a small icon and it would pull it up. Again, just a little bit more cumbersome. This is a little bit easier to walk through. So you can actually click and go through all of the pages. It has the same reports that you're used to seeing. So none of that has changed, and really none of our pages have changed, just kind of your ability to organize the pages, and we'll get into custom pages in just a little bit. Your ability to create more custom pages has been changed as well. So say I want to add a page or even delete a page. If you click on this plus sign here, you can either add from library or create new. We'll walk through both steps, but I want to show you add from library first. So if you click on add from library, it's going to pull up a full library of report pages, which are all produced by Moxie. And then there are also going to be, over here, sorry, you have to click on report pages. So right now we have 13 report pages, and you can see that the ones that have the green check and are marked included are the ones that are currently included in my presentation. If you would like to include a report page that is not currently being used, all you have to do is just click on the blue plus sign and it's included. You can also go to, if you go to my pages, this is maybe you've created a page that you wanted to save. This is where you would be able to add those in there. Or you could go to brokerage page. So here you can see we have a few folders, so you can always dig through here, try to find something. Maybe you know that maybe it's a recruiting piece that you want, and so there's a YYDEL, or maybe you just want to look through these essentially one-pagers and add something in there. There are 255 options, so there are a lot for you to kind of go through, but if you find a few pages that you really like to work with, you can always add them and save them as a template as well. So these up top are mostly from Moxie, so you can see that it has, what is a short sale? Maybe this would be good information to include. All you have to do is click on include. You can actually click on it if you want to see what the page looks like, and you'll be able to preview what the web version looks like. You can toggle and view what the print version looks like, and you can, if you want to get out of it, all you do is just click on the X. If you scroll down a little bit more, you'll find maybe some more pages that you're used to seeing. So all of the pages from our listing consultation. So starting from The Way Home Since 1915, which is our cover page, there's Understanding Agency, our company profile. So all of our normal YDEL pages that we have included in our listing consultation are available for you to use. So maybe there's a presentation that you're doing for a particular client that you feel like maybe the quality service guarantee will really be something that helps you stand out while you're doing your presentation. So again, if you wanted to preview what it looks like, you can pull up the quality service guarantee page. That's the web version, and just so you have an idea of what the print version looks like, you can always toggle between, and the print version will come up. There we go. And I decide that I want to include it, so I can go ahead and click on that little plus sign and add that in. So now I'm going to X out of that. So maybe now I feel like I really just want to include that quality service guarantee, and maybe let me look at this closing slide. Maybe I want to include a closing slide just to finish my presentation. So I'll go ahead and click include. Great, and now I can go back to my, if I click right here, I can go back to my presentation, and you can see all of the pages in here. And the three that I have added, this what is a short sale, quality service guarantee, and closing slide, have all been added to the bottom. Now say I want to reorder those, and maybe I want quality service guarantee to be right up at the front. So I can just drag and drop it. Maybe I want it right after Whitell and Leading RE. And if you click on maybe what is the short sale, and maybe I've decided that I don't want to include it, you have the option to click on this action icon again, and you can click remove. Oh, it looks like I added a cover page too, and that has my title, but I'm not really a big fan of that. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on it and remove it, but I want to keep my closing slide in there and the quality service guarantee. So say I am very comfortable with this presentation. I have a few options right now, so I can click down here. Maybe this is something that I want to use over and over again, this template. So if I click on Save as Template, you can add a custom title. So this will be Webinar Example, and I click Save. And now in my initial steps when I'm creating a presentation, this will be an option for me as a template. So that's one really easy feature. Again, you were able to do that in the classic version of MoxiPresent. It was just a little bit more cumbersome. So this allows you just to kind of save and create templates much easier. If you want to click play, you'll be able to see your whole presentation. So you can scroll through the presentation. Again, so this is the presentation version. And if you click on this action icon right here, this is where you'll see your ability to send an email, to view PDF, to create a quick flyer, or view the quick flyer, assign to an agent, or add a co-agent. So those are all your options from the Actions button. Before we get into a few more of these abilities right here, I really want to look at our ability to, again, we just walked through add from library, but I want to talk about maybe if there's a page that you want to create, a custom page. So you can choose a layout that you want to use. Maybe for this example, I'm just going to use this page right here. So you have the ability to select a layout. Maybe I want to, let's do custom page, test page. You can style it right here. I want to make it large and bold and in the middle. And then here you can add an image. You can upload from your library, or you can add from the web if you have a URL. You can even add in video as well. So if you just add a URL from either YouTube, Vimeo, or Dailymotion, it will actually pull that video right into this page. If you click on more, you have the ability just to format it a little bit more, really create something nice. You'll even be able to see it as the web version and the print version. And then once you are happy with the page that you have created, all you have to do is click Save, and that page will be saved and you can add it to your presentation. So just for, since I didn't really create a page, I went ahead and deleted it, but you guys have the ability to save those custom pages. You can even save them and again add them to your presentations as a template if that's something that you feel like you are going to be using a lot of. So that is kind of a little bit of an update on the pages. Again, you'll see most things are pretty similar to MoxiPresent, the classic version, just kind of laid out and organized a little bit differently. I want to walk through a few more of these actions now. So the first one, I think we're all pretty comfortable with the email, view PDF. I want to talk about this create a quick flyer and view quick flyer. So this is something you can create a flyer straight from MoxiPresent that will be leveraging a lot of the content of your subject property that's in here. So I want to walk you through this because this might be a great tool that you want to use. It's super simple. You can save the PDF and print it. You can email the PDF. There are lots of different options that you can do. So I want to go ahead and click Create Quick Flyer. It's going to allow you to select a layout. So let's see. For this one, I'm just going to select this layout number 1 right here. I'm going to click Select. And now you can click walk through this add content. So for title, I'll just do Welcome Home. And now I'll go to main image. Maybe I want to use this image right here. Click Next. 3, I'll click on additional images, and you can browse and upload an image, or I'll just click on MLS and it'll actually pull all of the images straight from the MLS. So I think in this layout I have 3 options. So for my first one, I'm going to do a picture right here. I'm going to select that image. And then maybe I want to do one of the kitchen. And I want one more, and maybe I'll do one of the bathroom. So select those images. And you can see you have the ability to move them around. Maybe I want the kitchen first, and then click Next. So I've added my additional images. Now I'll go to my description. So this pulls in the description from the MLS. You can see that when this number right here is red, it means that your description is too long. So just for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and just delete some of it. Let's see, it's still too long. So I'm going to go through and delete some more. Okay, and now it's saying that I have 350 350 characters in there, so I can play around, try to make it a little bit longer, but just for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and click Next. So now the listing details. So let's see. These are the options of details that you can have on your quick flyer. I actually want all of these details, I think. And let's see, as far as order, I think I want to reorder them a little bit to have maybe the bedrooms first. So I'm going to click on the little down arrow to move bathrooms down. Now bedrooms is first, then bathrooms. And I'll click Next. And then price, so that's the price that is already associated from the MLS. Click Next. And programs, maybe I'll include both of those. And click Next, and now I'll click View and Print. And here you can see is my quick flyer that was created. It has my information on it as well as RY Dell branding and some of the pictures from the MLS that I've selected and a little bit of description and price. So that's an option, the quick flyer option that I wanted to make sure to share with you guys. And let me, here we go. So we talked about the quick flyer, assigned to agent. So if you click on this, you can always click to search by an agent, and this will actually share this presentation with an agent. Another thing, if you are maybe co-listing with someone or working with someone, you can add a co-agent. So maybe I want to add Rich Wydell, and you can see that there he is. So I'll click on Rich and add co-presenting agent. And even if you want to, you have the ability to add more. So let's see, if we go to agent profile, you can see that mine is first and then Rich's is second. So that's a really nice feature for those of you that are co-listing properties together. And I believe those were all of the functions that I wanted to share with you guys about MoxiPresent, the beta version updates. Again, this beta version, will become forward-facing. So when you open MoxiPresent, it will be the presentation that is updated or that is shown on March 7th, moving on, and on April 4th, it will be the only option. So between March 7th and April 4th, you'll be able to click back and forth. But starting April 4th, this will be the only option for you. I really feel like it is a step up, and they've made a lot of really great improvements, especially for you as an agent using MoxiPresent. So I think that it'll be a really great tool for you all. Moxie has done a few webinars on MoxiPresent, and I can share those links with the company in a follow-up email. I think it would be nice for you guys to be able to watch another full demonstration of the abilities that the new MoxiPresent has. And this presentation will also be archived on the hub, so if you need to refer back to it at a later date, that is a possibility as well. But right now I want to open it up to questions, so I'm going to unmute everyone.
All participants are unmuted.
Okay, great. Everyone has been unmuted, so if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask at this time.
So, Courtney,
Yes.
this is Joe Masson.
Hi, Joe.
If we were looking to start, if we were looking to start from scratch to duplicate the listing consultation document that Scott gave out during his training,
The
page
MVA.
for page, if you were doing that and you wanted it page for page, what would be your recommendation of how to start? Would you start with a default one and start shuffling things around, or would you maybe unclick everything and then just go to the bottom where you have your 255 pages and start moving them up?
Well, if you're looking for to start creating a template that's very similar to the listing consultation, the large, I think Scott calls it the seller services book. When you go to click on seller and click continue, I would use the company template that's called listing consultation, the condensed version, because that will give you the same exact pages.
But that's possibly not all the pages, and they might be not in the same order, or is it really, really close, do you think?
It's really, really close. There might be a few that aren't in there, and if they're not in that template, you can always add them back when you get to that pages view. And then if you get to, if you create a template that you really like that maybe is this listing consultation condensed version plus a few pages, make sure to save that as a template. So then when you create this new presentation, you'll see my templates. Remember, I created the webinar example, so I could click on that and you'd be able to use that exact presentation.
Mm-hmm. When you are looking at the one that says net proceeds, that page?
Yes, that report page.
That's pretty much, unless they've changed it, it's just a blank, right?
Right. Well,
It
you
doesn't
have
anything
to
entered, any like a pre-filled fields of any kind.
No, it doesn't have anything pre-filled because you will have to actually. So if you go into estimate, I'll just do save and overwrite for right now. So if I'm in my estimate tab, so the first slide that you see is the estimated pricing. So I went ahead and filled that in. If you click on the estimated net proceeds, you have to fill in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you would fill it. Good. This looks better. I thought I was playing around with the net proceeds page and it was just a blank.
No.
This one has the fields in it.
Yes. So you just have to toggle once you get to that estimates tab. You toggle between estimated pricing and estimated net proceeds. And if you don't fill anything in, then the page will be blank and you can just remove it. But if you do fill it in, then it could have valuable information in there.
Okay, wonderful. Does the old one work that way too, or is this?
Yes, it's very similar.
A change.
Nope, it works very similar.
Good one. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Great. Well, if we don't have any other questions, I'll go ahead and let you all go. Be respectful of your time. Again, I really appreciate you all joining this afternoon. I hope that this has been beneficial for you guys, and we'll continue to make you all aware of the updates that are happening from now, especially till April 4th, when everything is live and permanent. And following this email, again, I'll send out a link to the recording of this webinar if you want to go back and review it, and also some links for some webinars that Moxie has led that outline, again, the full changes that are taking place with this beta version. So thank you all very much for joining me this afternoon. I hope you guys have a productive rest of the day.